What happened back there?
I don't care.
Hey, I've got an idea. Let's rock talk.
This isn't particularly a video that I wanted to do, but it would be irresponsible of me not to do so because it's gonna affect the future of myself and this channel, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So let's go and talk about this. We're talking about the Universes Beyond stuff that was announced this past week. So we got a bunch of interesting announcements that all on the same day. There's gonna be well, we know about the Warhammer Commander decks that was happening, but now we also know about Street Fighter Secret Lair. There's gonna be a Fortnite Secret Lair, and the Lord of the Rings is gonna be a full draftable set that's in both modern and historic. So Universes Beyond is coming to basically every format that exists now. At the moment, Pioneer doesn't have a whole lot, but it still has the Godzilla stuff, and it's not like they're not going to put more stuff into it eventually. So, if you don't like Universes Beyond, there is no place in Magic for you when it comes to competitive play. I had a discussion on Twitter about this with Blake Rasmussen, who is the communications guy at Wizards of the Coast, and you know what? It was a nice discussion. It was civil. But the thing that I took away from that is that they don't understand that there are people that just really like the IP of Magic the Gathering and want to see that continue to be its own thing. I like Lord of the Rings, okay? I think Lord of the Rings is really cool. But it wouldn't excite me if Street Fighter characters just magically showed up in Lord of the Rings and started fighting, alongside Gandalf to take down, you know, just the army of orcs or whatever. Like that's not something that I want to see when I'm enthralling myself in that world. And for a really long time, like Magic didn't do that. Magic had its own really cool IP. There were these elder dragons, like Bolas, that were plotting in the background. And there's this multiversal war. You have like Urza and Mishra fighting against each other with Dominaria and the Phyrexians at each other's throat. The crew of the Weatherlight like hopping around trying to fight these things. It was really awesome, and that really enthralled me, and I enjoyed it so much. That's one of the reasons I got so into Magic. It's because I found it so cool. It was its own thing, and that's something that's just being lost now. And if you are one of those people that enjoys playing Magic for those reasons, well, when it comes to competitive play, there is no place for you anymore because we are having universes beyond in essentially every constructed format at this point. So if you don't want to play Magic against, Street Fighter characters or Fortnite stuff or Lord of the Rings and like Gandalf or the One Ring or one of those cards is definitely going to be pushed into tier 1. Like there's no place for you in this game anymore. And despite, Blake's assertions otherwise, where is the format that I can go to get away from this stuff? I like playing Magic because it's Magic. I don't want it to become Super Smash Brothers. That's look, I like Smash Brothers, but even Smash Brothers has its own lore and stuff, and it just I don't know. When I'm playing something, I want it to have its own established lore, and I like it when I'm playing something that's themed with itself, and it just I don't know. Some of these things just seem so weird. Like one of the greatest games of Magic, in my opinion, that was ever played was when there was a finals that came down to an Urza deck versus a Yawgmoth deck. That was so cool. I enjoyed that so much. But like I definitely don't want to see the finals come down to Gandalf versus Chun-Li. Like that's not Magic the Gathering to me. That ruins something special in my eyes that we've had for decades now. And I don't know how to express that to somebody who doesn't understand that. It felt really hard to describe. Like, Wizards of the Coast, they were asking these questions and presumably good faith because they didn't seem to understand that their IP has value in just being its own thing. And it seems like they only seem to view the game as how can we franchise it to make more money by adding other properties to it instead of protecting the thing that they've carefully cultivated and grown for decades. I don't know what to say. Like, if Magic is going to become like Gandalf versus Chun-Li, I don't know that I want to continue playing it at that point. I don't know that I want to I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to promote that. It's losing something to me that it's the spark that captured me in the first place. So if I wanted to do that, there are plenty of other games I could go to play to get that kind of experience. It doesn't necessarily have to be this one. And the things that made this special, it's not just the gameplay mechanics, it's the flavor and story around it and the cool cards that are from each set that like yeah, they're from different planes, but you know what? They all exist in the world together. There is no place where Frodo and Chun-Li exist in the same world as Nicol Bolas. That's they're not a part of Magic's canon, all right? It doesn't work like that. One of the questions that I was asked is like, what's the difference between Ali from Cairo versus, say, Aladdin? Well, Aladdin does not live in the same world where Phyrexians could just go and invade his plane, or Eldrazi's could just get hungry and want to eat his plane as a snack. Ali from Cairo does. Like, yeah, I don't know how better to explain. Like, there's it's beyond my ability to express. It's just a bunch of raw emotion that I feel now, and it's one of the reasons I didn't want to have to like do this. But it's so just thinking about it, I am swirling with feelings about this, and most of them are not good. It makes me really, really sad and frustrated and hurt. Honestly, when I heard that announcement, I felt like I was punched in the stomach. It felt like a huge betrayal that they would just take something that was so valuable to them, so valuable to me, and then just throw it away. And I don't understand why they would do that. And then on top of that, being constantly told over and over that if you don't like it, Matt, like this is not a product for you. Well, where's the format that's for me? What format do I play where I can play Magic and not, Smash Brothers? That's what I want to know. If do you really mean that, then why don't we have something like, I don't know, Legacy without a reserved list and without Universes Beyond? I think that could be a really fun and awesome format. Like, just give me something where I don't have to deal with these cards. Like, that would be ideal. So, I don't know. That's. And I don't want to sound like I'm unpleasable either, because it was particularly frustrating because a lot of the stuff they were also announcing alongside it was really cool. Like the Brothers War set, or, Dominaria United. That sounds great. Even the gangster plane, that one's really cool. Their Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. You know what? As long as they explain why it is that Bolas's army did not have like cyber guns or something, if they can come up with a plausible reason for that, I'm in. I'm with it. I understand that like technology and magic will advance in some ways, but I want it to keep the magic part of it. I just don't want it to become just I don't know what to like. I don't want it to become Smash Brothers, I guess. I want it to stay like respectful of Magic, and that's. I don't think that that's the direction that Wizards is taking this game. So I don't know what I'm gonna do when we get to that point. My instant gut reaction as soon as I heard that is I don't want to play this game anymore. I just want to delete my channel and pretend that I've never even heard of Magic. But that the what I gave it some time, and I let that subside a bit, but there's still a part of me that feels that way. And it's sad because I really enjoyed Magic. I played Historic for this week, and you know what? It was really fun. Even despite, some of the digital only mechanics, like I'm still not a huge fan of that, but you know what? I'm willing to give it a chance. I enjoyed playing, Shoreline Scout in my deck. The conjure mechanic was cool. I think it could have been implemented in paper if they wanted to. it really seems like something they did specifically for the sole purpose of copying Hearthstone and saying, look, this is a digital only mechanic when it didn't need to be. But you know what? That's its own separate issue. At, at least it's still magic. Like, a Shoreline Scout is a merfolk that exists in the Magic multiverse, and it was a fun experience. I still liked playing. It's just when we get to the point where, like, the metagame's gonna be, Gandalf versus Chun-Li, I don't want to be part of that. So I don't know what's gonna happen when we get to that point. All I can say is I make no promises. I'm gonna play as long as I can, and enjoy this while it lasts, because it's clearly not gonna be forever. When those things start showing up, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. So I don't know how else to really express myself at the moment. I know I've kind of rambled a little bit, but I think that a lot of people feel this way, and it's difficult to explain because it does hurt, and it's not necessarily easy to uh, to convey to people what exactly it is that you're looking to get out of this. And it's just, Universes Beyond, I think, is the single greatest mistake, even greater than the reserved list, that Wizards of the Coast has ever made, in my opinion. And it's probably the one thing that could stand to drive me away from this game, which is something I've played for over 20 years at this point. I don't know. I have I I don't know what else to say, and the more I think about it, the more it upsets me, and I have a hard time maintaining my composure here because I'm just thinking about all of the parts of the game that I love that really feels like Wizards of the Coast just doesn't appreciate anymore. So that's all I have to say about this. We'll continue doing stuff for as long as it is that, that's not happening, but inevitably it's going to, and I really don't know what I'm gonna do when it gets there.
Yeah, that was good rock talk.